Yo, welcome to a new episode of the Spring Pass Show. I'm your host, Hector Cervantes, and I'm joined today by special guest, Rito Casas. Rito, cuéntanos de qué vamos a estar hablando hoy.
Vamos a estar hablando de relaciones y todos los problemas que vienen con ellos and all the uncertainties that also come with it and very similar topics. And without further ado, let's get started.
Ok, muchas gracias por seguir con nosotros. Y el tema de hoy va a ser relationships. ¿Qué tienes que decir acerca de esto, compañero?
Pues todos estamos en relaciones, ¿verdad? So, la cosa es que ahorita hablando con esta muchacha, ¿sabes?
A ver, cuenta un poquito más.
Esta muchacha la está hablando como por unos cuantas semanas, digamos.
Ajá.
Y la cosa es que de principio me interesaría mucho. Y no estoy diciendo que no me interesa todavía.
Uh-huh.
Pero como muchos saben, cuando te empiezas a hablar con una muchacha, si tú eres el quien sigues la sigues, normalmente parece que es donde tú eres el que estás tratando por todo, ¿verdad? Es que no es one-sided.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's how you feel right now?
Yes. Porque you need to make all the decisions, you need to like plan everything, and then whenever you talk about something, it's always like about them,
Mm-hmm.
and then like whenever it comes to like talking about something about you, it's always like, all right, cool, that's nice, more or less, to change topics.
Mm.
And you know what's interesting is like normally would be fine, but at the same time it's like how do you like fall in love with someone when they're like that?
Oh, interesting. You see, for me, my experience with love, you know pretty well, and it's one that I'd say it's que no se puede repetir, pues, ¿sí sabes? Porque para mí fue uno de esos momentos que dices, yo no lo planeaba, cuando menos pasó, ¿sabes? O sea, es una ocasión muy única y no sé cómo decirte, o sea, es un momento que se vive y que no se vuelve a repetir, ¿sabes? Y de ahí pasó todo, ¿sabes? Fue sencillo, una cosa después de otra pasó y continuó y ahí se llegó y so yeah.
Pero cuando tú estabas hablando con tu esposa, pero al tiempo era ni era tu novia todavía, como, ¿qué te gustó de ella? No estoy diciendo de físico, pero
Uh-huh.
yo estoy diciendo de la mente, de su personalidad.
Claro. Pues fíjate, para mí, sinceramente, it's like seeing yourself in the mirror, you know? It's pretty weird, but go along with me on this one. Because for me, lo que más me gustó, Nancy, es saber que, you know, I feel at home with her, you know? I feel like even if I make a mistake, even if I do something wrong, she'll be there for me and like to lift me up and, you know, a estar en las buenas y en las malas, como dice, ¿no? Eso fue o sea, it was like catching, you know? Does that make sense?
Sí, no tienes razón, pero la cosa es que la cosa es que no todos tienen lo mismo. Tienen buenas relaciones, no estoy diciendo eso. Más que no se sienten igual.
Uh-huh.
Pero por la razón es que estoy pensando con la muchacha que estoy hablando ahorita. Me encanta su personalidad, como dice todas sus historias, como es y todo eso, pero al mismo tiempo se siente... It feels off. That makes sense.
Claro, yeah. And you see, that's the thing that I don't feel, you know, like feeling off, you know, like... Yeah. El feeling de ¿cómo se dice? Inseguridad, por más o menos decir.
No, yo no diría que es insecurity. Insecurity means like that you're unsure about yourself or something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't really think it's that. Mm-hmm. I think it's more of just like you're just being just not being sure about how like things will go in the future with that other person. Like maybe you can actually make things last. I don't think that counts as insecurity, in my opinion, and maybe it does.
So, what word would you use to describe that feeling, man?
Unease, I would say. Like there's some uneasiness in that feeling, because that's just how I feel right now. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yo pienso que en una relación con ella va a ser algo like something great. Pero al mismo tiempo no sé si es para mí, porque muchas veces una relación que una persona es mucho más diferente con otra.
Ujú.
And like, algo que serviría con alguien, no serviría con alguien más.
Ajá, eso sí.
And it's more of how it is, chemistry with others.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, there's some chemistry between me and her, but I don't know how great that chemistry is.
Oh, okay. So you don't feel, you don't like it as much?
That's kind of the hard part. Porque mira, me encanta como es ella. Like there's never an awkward moment. Things are always fun, and like there's always something to talk about. That's just how she is.
Mm-hmm.
And al mismo tiempo, it's like there's that side where you're like, why does it feel like it's off? Like why does it feel like it's always like one-sided? Why do I feel like even though I know that she has my back, I don't know if she actually does.
It's kind of one of those things where, like, you know, have you had friends decirte, oh, pues, you know, súbete ahí y déjate caer para atrás and we'll catch you, you know? Kind of one of those moments where you're like, you know you have to trust them, you know, but at the very second, do you really do, you know? Is that the experience you're kind of having right now?
Más o menos.
Sí.
I think it's like something like that.
Sí, ok, sí, pues haz de cuenta, o sea, digamos, yo te digo, oh, párate aquí en la coffee table, ¿no? Y déjate caer para atrás y yo te agarro. ¿Me confías o qué? Se quiebra la coffee table primero.
Es lo que iba a decir.
¿Sabes? No, pues entonces no me confías del principio, entonces, ¿verdad? Dices, no, pues, ¿sabes qué? Empiezas con media tontería, pues no.
No, pues sí. Pero no sé, es que quiero perseguir algo con ella, pero no sé si perseguirlo es like the correct choice.
Ajá, claro.
I don't, like I'm very particular because ever since I moved out of my parents, like I've learned how to be more by myself. Entonces una de las cosas like me missing being by myself. Porque es algo que dicen todos, is like you don't really like appreciate how you are when you're by yourself. Hasta que te empiezas a like be in a relationship with someone. Because you realize that like all that free time that you had for yourself and all that stuff goes away when you start talking to someone. Claro, por la mayoría, porque unas relaciones donde sí todas te sientes
free, quote unquote, even though you're supposed to be free.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But like with a little bit of handcuffs on that.
A little bit of let me make sure you don't leave me right now.
Yeah, like it changed. Like there's different relationships. Like one is like handcuffs, like the regular police handcuffs, so you're always handcuffed with the other person, or like there's the ones like they're handcuffs but they're chains.
Or it can be just a simple invisible chain, you know. It doesn't have to be physical. You're like, hey, if you go further than 90 miles, I'm tracking your ass, bro.
I'm gonna feel like that. I mean, like subconsciously, you're like, oh, I can't, like I have this person in my head, like in my head.
Yeah.
Like con unas personas, you're like, oh, I feel more comfortable doing this because we trust each other and to do that.
Yeah.
Which is actually the other thing that about her, like, like I don't know if she's toxic or not. Porque muchas veces, donde like me menciona algo y luego and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, it's whatever. It's just like, oh, but I thought you were going to be like more upset. Like, you don't get upset. You were super calm. You're not toxic. I'm like, no. Why would I get upset over you talking about other guys or like you hang out with other guys? I'm like, I trust you.
¿Y tú crees que esto puede hacer que antes ella tenga una relación que la haya sentido, digamos, toxic, you know, that she may...
Sí me ha dicho mucho de eso. Y sí, una cosa sí es eso, pero sí me hace que no es su personalidad.
So tú crees que she was kind of like nurtured into that, you know? Like,
yeah, more or less.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and you see, toxicity is seen as funny, you know, like, o sea, ponen ahí memes, you know, like, oh, mi novia tóxica y aquello, you know, pero, o sea, hay unas que de a tiro, no sé si has visto unos videos que de a tiro sí se pasan de lanza y ahí ya no, pues, you know, you're like, damn, this is what they're really talking about, you know, hay que cuidarse.
Es que, like, como yo me siento, like, oh, okay, no puedo hablar de ¿saben quién? Like, just a coworker, you know, I mean, ahorita, porque we're still in talking phase, I can talk about them, pero me siento desde el momento de que algo se haga más serio, I'm gonna have to be careful, like, yeah, I was helping my coworker do this, porque estaba batallando en next, like, pues, ¿por qué lo ayudaste,
Hey, o sea,
Yeah.
que te haga
Yeah.
sentir como que you did something bad, maybe,
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
No, pues, y pues, o sea, ¿cuántos meses dices que llevas hablando con ella?
I think a month. I mean, es algo reciente, por eso, like, that's why I'm, like, questioning.
Yeah.
But you usually, like, start feeling things, like, right at... Porque, siempre la primera semana es, like, oh, like lovey-dovey and all that stuff. All that stuff, like, it can continue like that, or, like, depende como eres, like, it depends how it goes after that, pero yo, like, I'm a very loving person, entonces yo pienso que no cambió así. Pero I've been starting to question it, like, okay, well, porque yo si me quiero hablar con alguien, I want it to be for the long run. I don't want to be to, like, our fucking hookup or, como son una...
O sea, algo que pasa aquí y quedó ahí, ¿no?
Yeah, like,
no quieres hacer eso.
Like, one night stands, like, I don't do that. Like, that doesn't feel right, Como like, haces eso, and then you feel, like, more lonely.
Like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah, because that's actually what I heard a lot about some people, like, they like to do one night stands or, like, all that crazy party stuff. Y luego, después de, like, un año, like, o después de una temporada que lo hacen, they're like, this just makes me feel worse over time. Y luego my reputation just gets worse. Porque como todos saben que ando ahí peleando y
ando ahí con las canciones del Bad Bunny, ¿verdad?
I mean, that's fine, pero like I mean, like, donde estás saliendo a like to go to, like, guys or, like, girls' houses, or, like, ir al hotel or like go to a club just for that reason. Like, that goes around, and next thing you know, cuando quieres like, actually get into a serious relationship, it can be hard, or it's just hard on yourself.
Oh yeah.
So, like, I don't want to get into them. So.
No, totally, and I respect that, So, por eso estaba preguntando cuánto llevabas, porque quería saber, o sea, qué tanto llevan de conocerse uno al otro, ¿verdad? Porque, o sea, como tú dices, la primera semana es algo así que nomás, pues, muy bien, ¿verdad?
Yeah, well, es cuando tienes todas las preguntas, pues, ¿qué te gusta? Like, ¿qué estás haciendo? Like, ¿qué quieres hacer en el futuro? It's like getting to know all that small stuff. Sí, claro que más cuando vienes más tiempo, empiezas a preguntar otras preguntas, pero en la primera semana es cuando empiezas a preguntar todo eso, y luego después es more like, okay, well, how's your day been? Dime de tu día, todo eso, like, that's how you start getting to know them better. And so, like, I'm in that stage, and I'm like, quiero una relación seria, pero no sé si, I want to make sure that she's happy, I want to make sure that I'm happy. No quiero hacer una relación donde, like, one of us is happy and the other one is not.
Claro. O sea, tiene que ser algo mutuo, ¿verdad? Tiene que ser
mucho, yeah. Porque in all reality, like, if it's not mutual, it can, like, lead to, like, one, insecurities. That's one of them. And then two, like, it can go into cheating, being unfaithful. I mean, cheating and unfaithful is the same thing, but just, like, all that stuff, like, just creating issues in the long run. After, like, arruina la relación de los dos, and that I mean, you get married, and next thing you know, you end up getting divorced a few years later because you're like, I'm not, why did I even do this?
Right. And you're like, well, then again, it's a toxic, a toxicity, like, it can present itself in different forms and in many ways. So, you definitely don't want to go that path,
Yeah. I mean, like, talk about, like, being unfaithful.
Damn. Hell no. I've met so many, people that are like, yeah, this and that, being unfaithful and whatever, and I'm like, bro, like, I can't look at you and see you with a straight face and, call you my friend when you do that, it's just
exactly.
It's hard, you like, why would you do this to yourself, to, your partner, and, on top of that, the other person, who may or may not know, it's terrible. I don't know why people do it, and, bueno, sinceramente en la comunidad latina es algo que se presenta mucho, ¿sabes? Es ese tipo de machismo, que dice, pues, like, the man, like, and he does it, was he's unfaithful, and it's terrible. I don't like it. advise it. I don't do anything like that. I just, I can't believe it. That's a thing,
Yeah, I mean, I can believe it, but like, I have a coworker of mine. I mean, I've seen a lot of stories, but recently I have a coworker of mine that is currently like, not exactly in a relationship with someone, pero anda como entre dos hombres. Entonces ella está entre dos hombres, and like, dice, no, pues, like this person makes me feel like this, but I see myself longer with this other person. It's like he gives me like this other feeling que el otro no me da. And I'm like, well, what kind of feeling? And no me puede explicar. It's like, es algo donde viene de dentro, and like they just want something, and like not both of them can even give it to her. Or lo que yo pienso es que since she was talking to one guy before the other one that she wants to be more serious with, she's gonna attach to the other person first, physically and mentally.
Oh,
and like, yeah. So I mean, she's not dating either of them. So technically speaking, by what I've heard a lot of people say, mostly girls, and I'm not trying to say it's mostly like it's just girls, but it's just from what I've heard, mostly girls, they tend to like be like, yeah, well, if you're not really like, if it's not official, it's okay, like it's an open book. I'm not saying all of them are. I'm just saying like I've heard it mostly from them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's how her
point of view
is. Pero like al mismo tiempo, like I see it that it hurts her porque ella también no está segura.
So she's struggling right there, and deciding.
Yeah. Yeah, she's struggling to decide, and I'm like, in all reality, you just have to like go for the one that you think it will last longer.
And that's your advice to her.
I mean, that would be my advice, porque like as long as you have both options, it's going to be extremely hard to let one of them go until you decide to let one of them go. Because like you're always going to see something from one other person, and then that you don't see another, because they're not the same people. They're totally different people. So like you want to see, okay, well, who do I actually want to pursue with? And she told me herself, like, con uno de ellos ya habíamos dicho que no iba a pasar nada. So I'm like, why are you still talking to them?
Oh, it's hard porque simplemente to decide, to take that step. I feel it's for some people it's harder, to make a full decision and go and stick with it, because then they may say, oh, you know what, I don't like my decision, I must still wait. And that like you say, it's a toll on people, having to decide, having to actually go and step foot on the ground and say, you know what, this is my final decision. It's something that a lot of us can work on and decide. I mean, you have to decide at the end of the day. Yes, this can't keep going on forever. Either one of the guys is just gonna lose interest, or she herself might lose interest in both of them. It could happen anyway.
Oh, the other thing is like either she ends up messing up and she loses both options.
Yep, and that's something even more serious than ahí ya te fregaste, o sea, tú solito dices, no, pues no manches, o sea.
Yeah, which is why like which is crazy to me, like there's a lot of people out there that get into an actual relationship and they still do that. Which I'm like, why? Yeah. You have this great, amazing guy or girl and they decide to like be like, well, man, I want to like be a little bit different. Like I want to like try something different. Like I don't feel like I don't want to settle down just yet. So let me just go do this other thing real quick. And I don't know. It
doesn't seem right.
It doesn't. It isn't right. And I don't understand how some people find it okay. And I don't think they find it okay. They just can't help themselves because they can't say no to it. They can't decide what they want.
And this is this is just como dicen, pues algo que te tienes que decidir en ti mismo, ¿sabes? O sea, tú tienes que saber lo que quieres en la vida. Y si no sabes lo que quieres en la vida, es peor porque andas, como dice uno, divulgando ahí, just trying to find whatever. And es un problema.
It's a problema. And honestly, like, there's a lot of people out there that, like know that, pero to still do it, and then that's whenever you like see someone, they got caught cheating, they're like, don't leave me, like give me another chance, because they don't want to lose what they had with that person. but because they couldn't help themselves and go for and do that stupid thing, they just ruined their whole chance with that person.
Yeah, and well, I want to change topics a little bit, but from going relationships así como digamos de una persona a otra amorosamente, there's also those relationships like you have in your outside circle, those relationships that are like friends, family members, and well, you have to take care of, you have to flourish because at the end of the day those are people you also spend time with. Of course you then have the outer layer, which is like relatives and friends that you kind of don't see very often, those strangers that you see in the street. But those relationships, you also have to make sure, there's not toxicity in those, make sure, you have friends that you can call family, like for instance, I don't know if you know, but you're very close to me and you're like my family,
Oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So these are
along with Omar too.
Yeah, exactly. Omar's it's like the best trio of friends right there.
Yeah, I mean we don't talk to each other that much.
That often, but we used to. I know that's one of the things that back, in the day, we had more time to spend together and really get to know each other and be friends.
But we know that we still have each other's back.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's por ejemplo, es como estamos diciendo. When I tell you to fall, would you trust me to catch you? I would trust you to catch me. I expect you to trust me to catch you. And same with Omar.
See, I trust you guys. I don't know if you guys will be able to wait.
Metaphorically, I think that's the word.
I know that much. I mean, I'll fall, but I'm like, I might get
Pongan algo abajo si quieres, ¿sabes? O sea, pues si quieres ponemos algo abajo, así no te preocupas.
Yeah, no más para que like okay, in case you guys can't like handle my weight.
Yeah. No te preocupes. It's all good, bro. No, pero es que tú estás así en fuerte, macizo.
That's an issue. It's okay. I think I gain a lot of pounds right now.
Yeah, it's all good. No, listo para el summer, yeah.
And this is the other thing. Like, we are planning on going to the gym together. And I don't know how to feel about that. I guess a lot of times I like to go to the gym and just be my mess. I'm like, just do my own thing. I can just zone out so I can go in and get out.
And so you don't know how to feel about going with someone that you were gonna work out or and you're like, oh, am I gonna have to wait twice as long to use this machine, or like to lift weights?
My workouts are gonna be twice as long. Antonio no llega a la casa hasta las 11 de la noche.
Uf, man. ¿Y ella cómo se siente?
Pues quiere hacerlo. No, sí, quiere hacerlo porque she needs to get back to the gym. So, I'm down for it. Nomás es como no sé si salgo como del trabajo como a las 7. ¿Y
ella qué tan lejos vive?
15 minutos del trabajo. So I would go straight from work. So we would probably be working around 8.
Okay.
So duramos una hora a una hora y media because I wouldn't do it porque she's not used to working out, so I wouldn't be doing the extreme. Pero después de eso, I need to drop her off. And maybe we'll grab food or I'll just stay over her place. Una media hora o algo así.
O toda la noche, nunca de tarde.
I mean, she's younger, so she's Mexican and doesn't live con sus papás.
Okay.
It's not like I can go in.
Okay.
Pero at that point, it's already when I should leave her place, probably it's going to be 10:30. Llego aquí como hasta las 11 y luego aquí tengo mi trochil,
Tiene que limpiar, tiene que hacer todo esto para mañana, la preparación. No te preocupes. I feel like at some point we're all in that position, Cuando estamos, dejamos a la casa como, como un trochil, todo un reguero, y ya tenemos que regresar a limpiarlo porque si no, se acumula y vaya. Y luego tienes amigos que quieren llegar a las 12 de la noche a hacer un podcast. Y dices, no, pues ¿sabes qué? Tengo que limpiar un poco.
No, eso sí limpio un poquito.
¿Ya ves? ¿Qué te digo? Y no te preocupes, o sea, sí. Todos estamos, por ejemplo, ahorita mi casa también es un reguero, pero si quisieras irte, Luego, ¿no?
Luego limpiar.
Te pongo a limpiar si quieres. Ya, ándale, te ayúdame a trapear por aquí, Ira, y yo le barro acá, ¿ok?
Okay. Luego hay que hacer the laundry, pero I won't fall in.
Está bien.
No, but that's the thing, that's the other thing where I'm like more like questioning whether like I want to pursue this porque one, we'll get a lot more attached once we start going to the gym together because we'll start doing a lot more things together. So si algo no sirve en el futuro, no, that's a huge ass heartbreak right there.
Yeah.
So like
sí,
you could call it okay. So you how you asked me earlier about what word would I use? I want to say it's fear. It's not just insecurity. It's just fear for the future. You know, insureness, like I said, but like the main word would be fear.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a good word to use. Fear of
heartbreak, fear of things not working out, fear of how the future's going to turn out, fear of how like you'll do things. I don't know. It's me. I haven't been in a lot of relationships, so I can't say exactly if that's insecurity or not. But
sí, pues como dicen, no vas a ser el primero ni el último, you know? En sentir esto, no te preocupes. Y luego ¿qué te iba a decir? No se me olvidó. No, hombre, el PlayStation acá.
Pero no, bueno,
entonces ya como sigas aquí te la vas a llevar, you know? ¿Cómo te sientes? O sea, digamos, ¿cuánto tiempo le darías para que te sientas without that fear, you know, that you'll be like, oh, okay, pues.
Bueno, pues lo voy a dejar como otro mes. A ver cómo siguen las cosas. Maybe even 2 weeks, porque primero cómo se cambian las cosas poquitos en las siguientes 2 semanas. Things are improving, then le doy un mes. Y si un mes, then fuck it, I'll go for it.
Ahí le dices, no, para ahora sí le voy a decir que sea mi novia, ¿no? Oficialmente, sí. Porque, o sea, ya se están viendo, están conociéndose uno al otro, o sea, ahí hay algo, ¿sabes? Yeah. O sea, como tú dices, una química que se está desarrollando, tú quieres saber si en realidad she's like, you know, a person you really like, and go for the shot after that, you know? Trying to make sure, you know, oh, pues, ¿sabes qué? Si me gusta, la quiero conocer más a fondo, quiere ser mi novia, y entonces ya empiezan ahí algo más formal, you know? Y no, pues está bien. O sea, my best wishes.
You know, the other thing is because I'm very mature as like when it comes to relationships. Y ella es más joven que yo. So it kind of feels like she's not as mature as I am. So that's probably where a little bit of the fear comes in.
You know, the fear and the, I guess, ¿cómo te digo? Your wise. You know, because acá entre comillas tú te dices, no, I'm very mature. No, pues señor, acá dígame usted.
No, es que no digo, es que no digo que I'm mature because like yo pienso, es que a lot of people are like, as relationships, you think a lot more mature. Muchos de mis amigos que they're a lot older, they're like, yeah, you're like thinking how you should be thinking when you're trying to get into relationships. Like muchas personas, when they're younger, like they want hookups or like they just don't know what they want.
Claro. Y ese como tú dices, el fear, ¿verdad? Yeah. Que dices, oh, pues she probably doesn't want something serious because she's so young, so that makes sense.
Well, I wouldn't say she doesn't want anything serious. She does want something serious. Pero no sé si ella sabe lo que quiere. No, no sé si no estoy seguro si ella quite sure, like if she knows quite what right now exactly what she wants.
Okay.
And like it's fine, but like al mismo tiempo, like I don't want to get her stuck to something that next year in the future she's going to regret it.
And that's you.
Exactly. And vice versa, porque like yeah, like I might be mature, but like I still don't know 100% sure. It's like whenever you like get into a relationship, you kind of like put yourself in a situation where like you're stuck in a certain area. Where like let's say like tienes todo el mundo cuando estás solo. Cuando te metes con otra persona, estás en tu mundo y con ella. Like, but then at that point, half your world isn't accessible anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. No, yeah. And, well, that's basically a relationship there.
Yeah,
That's basically a relationship right
dude.
there.
And I'm like I've been alone, like been by myself for a while now, so I'm like, man, is this worth it, or like should I just be single for a while?
Sí, no, está bien. Como dicen, finding your media naranja, you know?
Yeah. Como esta mañana, like I was running late to work. Like I woke up at, so it's 20 minutes from here to where I work, right? You know this.
Yes, of course.
And I got up at 8:35, and like since I went to a bonfire last night, I kind of like washed and then and like I didn't like stink at the pillows or anything like that, but I still smell like smoke. So I ran into the shower. I took a quick nice shower. Then I'm selling. I need to like dress up nice, you know, like as a salesperson, you need to dress up nice so you can impress people, seem professional. So like I'm start putting that shit on, and next thing you know, I realized that my what is it called? Mi plancha para planchar mi ropa doesn't work.
Hijo eso, todo arrugado.
Yeah, so like I'm like, okay, but let me choose una que es like it's gonna straighten out that tiny bit. But by the time I'm surprised I got out in 15 minutes porque like para ponerte
todo lo que tenías que ponerte, ¿no?
Yeah, next thing you know, I'm out, and then I'm in a car at 8:50. And guess what?
¿Qué pasó?
Enfrente de mí está the dump truck picking up the trash.
So ahí te quedaste por unos minutos, ¿no?
Yeah, well, I kind of like I had to stay there for like 2-3 minutes, but I got to the side and just snuck out.
Acá el ninja, todo secreto.
No, like porque like he was there, so I didn't want to run him over. So like when he like kind of backed out, I was like, all right, my turn. Let me go real quick. You know. And the next day I go to work. I mean, we're already like Saturdays are meetings and 2 days Saturday. So I was like, oh damn, I need to get inside. So I go straight inside. I get into the meeting and like that's that. Pero llegué tarde todavía. It's like 7 minutes late. Pero it's like, oh, that's not bad. So,
no tan mal, ¿verdad? Ya, pues 6 minutos, ¿qué va?
Yeah, and so like that happened, right? And then next thing you know, like I'm still in the meeting, I get a text from her, and it's like, oh, no good morning text. And I'm like, hey, you don't even know what's going on. I'm like,
es que dice que pues me quiero despertar a tus good mornings.
No, but I'm like, dude, I was like, and I don't think she was actually upset over it, but at the mismo tiempo I was like, bro, like we're not even in a relationship yet. What you mean?
You're all sweating like in your arrugada camisa, acá todo bien. No, hombre.
Yeah, and then I just see the text and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, like, te queda ahí lo dejé un ratito, because I'm like, okay, that's just done.
Yeah. Okay, ahorita le digo, no se mandó. I was underneath the ground. What were you doing underneath the ground? Hey, come down, okay?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things. Like, damn, like when I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about saying hi to anybody.
Hombre, te la traes para acá, le dices, ¿sabes qué? Aquí te despiertas y aquí te digo good morning y ya. Se acabó.
At some point, things get there.
Ya ves. No, pues está bien. Muchas gracias, Rito, por estar aquí conmigo en este anochecer. Ya dieron la 1 de la mañana. ¿Ya ves?
Pues a dormir, ¿verdad?
A dormir, vas a llegar tarde otra vez.
Pues mañana entramos a 2 horas después.
Está bien. Entonces no hay de qué preocuparse. Pues entonces, muchas gracias por estar aquí, hablar, relationships y entregarlo todo.
Sí, pues todavía hay mucho de qué hablar, pero más para este tiempo.
Hay temporada. Ahorita hacemos la segunda versión, ¿no? Luego. Corrido. ¿Y listo?
Sí.
Bye.